So today I filmed this incredibly beautiful like fall inspired makeup look. Like honestly, I am so in love with this. Like if I could be a makeup look, it would be this. Like I am totally in love with this. Like I wasn't so sure because usually I don't really suit super warm colors like around like on my eyes. I don't know why, I just don't really suit them, but this I am totally in love with it and I feel like it would look good on everyone. It's very fall appropriate. Like I was reading my like analytics on YouTube the other day and majority of my viewers are actually from the US, so this tutorial is for you guys because here in Australia we have like just coming out of fall. Maybe this can be like a goodbye fall tutorial, I don't know. We're coming into summer, thank God. I really need a tan. I'm actually planning to go to the beach tomorrow because it's going to be 30 degrees, so I'm so excited. Why did I just go off on a random tangent? Anyway, I'm so in love with the way this look turned out. I hope that you guys like it as much as I do. Please follow me on Instagram. It is at Demi. Look at me begging, please. It is at demi.rolling only if you want to, and my Snapchat is demi-rolling. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you soon. Bye. Okay, so today I'm going to start out with my skin, and the first thing that I always do obviously is prime, and today I wanted to use the Becca First Light Priming Filter again because I have really been loving this. Like whenever I want my skin to kind of just feel really hydrated and look a little bit more dewy, you know, I've been using this. I don't use my backlight priming filter as much anymore. I'm preferring this one, and as always I'm just gonna dot that over my face. I'm so excited, you guys, because I'm getting like my ring light should be here literally in like a day or two, so I'm so excited for my videos to finally be like a little bit better quality, at least the lighting, because you know I ain't gonna be spending, you know, that like $10,000 lighting kit. Like I can't do that. So a ring light for now is gonna do me so good because at the moment I just use those two little kind of like boxy kind of lights, but they don't really do a lot. Like they're not super reliable, if you know what I mean. So next up is foundation, and I'm gonna go ahead and mix these two together, and I have been obsessed with this combination. Like it's super full coverage and it dries down to like this kind of satin finish because this foundation is more dewy. So what they are is the Clio Kill Cover Concealation and the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. This one is a little bit more of like a dewy and this is more matte, so they create like full coverage perfection. And then once again I'm using my beauty blender to blend it in. Okay, so I'm quickly gonna fill in my brows off camera just because I feel like it's a little bit boring, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that the brows are on, I'm gonna go ahead and conceal, but first of all I kind of want to correct this little blue situation. So I'm gonna go in with my Peripera Ink Corrector. It's like a peachy toned corrector. I love this. This is like hands down one of the best like peachy tone correctors that I've found. So I just like to apply a small amount just where I can see the blue. Okay, and then once again using my beauty blender just to kind of blend that in. Okay, so next is concealer, and the one that I have been completely, like I have not been able to put this concealer down, you guys. It is incredible. This is a Korean brand. It's called the Saem, and this is their Cover Perfection Tip Concealer. So I'm gonna use this today, and oh my God, like I am totally in love with this. And I'm also kind of making it a point to take the concealer, like whatever's left on here, onto my lid, because that's gonna kind of prime for eyeshadow later. Whenever I look back at my footage, I just want to die because my face, especially when I'm doing concealer or mascara, is literally like this. Okay, so before that has any time to crease, I'm gonna go ahead and set it with my RCMA No Color Powder. I love this stuff. You guys already know this by now. I have like 3 backups of this. So we can now move on to the eyes. The first thing that I'm going to do is just quickly dip into my Viseart Neutral Matte palette. Like always, I'm just going to grab the white and I'm going to use it on my Zoeva Luxe Grand Shader, and I'm just going to start to kind of like set down a little base going on. So the next thing that I'm going to do is dip into another Viseart palette, and this is their Warm Matte palette. Honestly, this is incredible. Like I have not been able to stop using this, especially because we're coming in Australia, we're coming into summer. Oh my God, these tones are everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Zoeva Soft Definer. I felt like I couldn't read then. And I'm just gonna dip into the yellow. And what I'm gonna do with this is literally use this color to kind of go right under my brow bone. You'll see what I'm doing, but I'm gonna like fluff it under the brow bone. So now that I've got the yellow down, I'm going to go back to the exact same palette. This time I'm going to mix these two kind of like burnt, warm, fiery colors together. I'm going to take some of them on my E45 Small Tapered Blending by Sigma, and this time what I'm going to do is like focus it a little bit lower into the crease, and I'm probably going to like flick it out a little bit. Okay, and I'm also going to kind of like bring this color up to like where my brow starts. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is go back to the neutral matte palette, and this time I'm going to go ahead and grab this beautiful like chocolatey kind of brown color. I'm going to take some of that on my Zoeva Smoky Shader, and what I'm going to do is really like focus on defining like a crease, and then I'm also going to kind of wing it out a little bit just so we can get a little bit more of a shape going. And then once again, going back in with the yellow, I'm going to just start to slightly blend above the crease again. Okay, and then once again, I'm grabbing the yellow again on the exact same brush that I've been using, but this time I'm kind of going to apply it like up, like I'm going to flick it to like where my brow begins. You'll see what I mean. It's a little bit kind of weird to explain. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead with one of my favorite foiled eyeshadows by Makeup Geek. This is in the shade Magic Act. It's basically just like this intensely bright gold. I love it so much. So what I'm going to do with that color, I'm just going to take it on a really kind of small little packing brush, and I'm just going to apply it to the center of my lid. And I don't want to bring the color too far like up to the crease. I kind of just want to, you know, keep it low. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and take the brush that I've been using all like the red colors on. I'm just going to quickly kind of like wipe it off, and then I'm just going to really lightly kind of buff the gold into everything else. I don't want the gold on the lid to look really prominent. I want it to look a little bit more subtle. So I'm just going to go ahead and buff it in just around like the edges. Like obviously like the very center, I don't mind, but around the edges, we want it to be a little bit more, you know. Now I'm going to dip back to the dark matte palette. I'm going to go ahead and take like this kind of like an eyeliner brush, one of those angled sort of brushes. I'm going to dip into this orange shade, and what I'm going to do is like tight line the very inner corner of my lash line. So we can now start on the lower lash line. The first thing that I'm going to do is dip back into the warm matte palette, mix the two red colors together, and I'm just going to take some of them on my 217 by MAC and literally just quickly run them across my lower lash line. Okay, so now I'm going to dip back into the yellow with the exact same brush that I've been using. I'm going to go ahead and apply the yellow to under where I've just applied those like burgundy colors. So I know I've kind of been jumping from the two different Viseart palettes, but once again, I'm just going to go into the neutral matte. I'm just going to pick up this black right over here. This is my Zoeva Brow Line pencil. It doesn't really matter what it's for. And this time I'm going to go ahead and tight line my lower lash line, like really close to the waterline. I'm going to put the black. Okay, and then quickly going back in with a pencil brush, all I'm going to do is just start to blend out that black. Okay, and I'm also quickly going to go ahead and line my waterline. I'm just going to use MAC Smoulder Eye Kohl. So before I go ahead and apply lashes, I'm first of all going to take MAC Nylon eyeshadow. Do I need to say anything else? No. I'm going to go ahead and highlight my inner corner and also my brow bone. The brush that I'm using is the Zoeva Precise Shader. This has been my favourite brush at the moment to highlight the inner corner and the brow bone. Okay, so now for lashes, the first thing that I'm going to do is just take the Jordana Best Lash Extreme to mascara my own lashes, and then I'm just going to apply the Koko lashes in Queen Bee. So we can now move on to the face. The first thing that I'm going to do is bronze because I feel like this look is so warm. I need to warm up my skin. So I'm going to go ahead and take my MAC Careblend Pressed Powder in dark. This is a beautiful, like really warm bronzer, but it's not a Give Me Sun warm. Like Give Me Sun for me is way too like red. This is kind of like perfect if you really want to look really bronzy. That's exactly what I'm going to use today. And I'm going to use it on my new favorite bronzing brush. This is the Zoeva Luxe Face Definer. Okay, so I am also going to go ahead and contour. I'm going to use the Kevin Kwan Sculpting Powder, and I'm going to use it with my new favorite contouring brush. This is the Zoeva Face Focus, nice and thin, fits perfectly in your like contours. And I'm also going to go ahead and contour my nose as well. Okay, so for blush, today I'm going to use, once again, the Natasha Denona Blush Duo, just because I've been loving this so much. Like, I don't even know how to explain it to you guys. I love the colour, I love the formula, and I'm talking about this more darker shade. So I'm going to take some of that on my Zoeva Luxe Cheek Finish, which I've also really been loving this brush. Like, I know I'm talking about everything that I love right now, which is kind of a little bit intense, but I've just been loving this. I think it's because it's such a short, it's got like a short handle, so I feel like I've got so much more control over the brush. Okay, and finally to finish off the face, we have highlight. Today I'm going to use MAC Oh Darling. This highlighter is absolutely incredible. I mentioned it in my favorite highlighters video, and I only can usually wear this with a tan, but I'm just going to go like, you know, whatever. Today I'm just going to break some rules. I'm just going to use this today because I just love it so much, and I feel like it vibes with this look so well. So I'm going to take some of that on my Zoeva Powder Fusion brush. I'm going to highlight the crap out of my face. And finally for the lips, I feel like this is a bit of a personal preference because a nude would look amazing with this, but I kind of feel like I always do a nude, so let's do something a little bit different. I'm going to go in with Dose of Colors Brick. It's like a burgundy kind of deep red. I love this. This is very fall. Very fall. So I'm going to overdraw with the NYX Lip Liner in Natural, and then going over the top with Dose of Colors Brick.